The Liv Morgan Revenge Tour continued tonight on Raw as the Women's World Champion defended against Zelina Vega, all while intensifying her advances toward the Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio. Dominic found himself pulling double duty as he both fended off the reigning champion and battled his father, Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, in a rematch of their WrestleMania 39 bout. Elsewhere, the final two combatants in Saturday's Money in the Bank matches were determined in two high-stakes triple threat matches. On the final stop on the road to Toronto and this weekend's premium live event, find out who cashed their tickets to the high-stakes ladder matches, which superstars have momentum on their side, and what went down in the latest drama between Liv Morgan and Daddy Dom. With this latest recap of Monday Night Raw. For this is Ridiculously Raw. Hey there, welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher and the phenom Michael Bullock. Let's not waste any more time, gentlemen. And Monday Night Raw was from, you could honestly make a claim that it's Michael Bullock's house, because it was the home. We were live tonight from the home of your 2024 NBA champion Boston Celtics, as well as the Boston Bruins. Of course, that being the legendary TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, on the USA Network. Corey Graves sitting in for Pat McAfee, as Pat McAfee continues to obvious. Of course, we all know what happened to Pat McAfee a week ago. Our thoughts and our prayers and our condolences to his family. But Michael Cole did confirm that Pat McAfee will be back on Raw next Monday night when they go to Ottawa. So Corey Graves filling in for him. So let's start it off. And there's no better way to start it off than Mr. Yeet himself. That being Yeet. And of course, that being main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso cuts a promo, interrupted by Chad Gable. But then, as they were going at it, the Wyatt Six showed up again. And wow. And you noticed Nikki Cross gave Michael Cole another box, and there was yet another VHS tape inside. And the security guards were also laid out right at the Raw announce table, the ringside announce table. So okay. After a brief physical exchange in which Uso got the best of Gable, the loudmouth former leader of Alpha Academy found himself again dodging the Wyatt Six. Escaped through the crowd, only to be haunted by the shadows of the ominous faction. He took off through the stands, and at the same time, Abby the Witch, the as of yet to be revealed Nikki Cross, presented Michael Cole with another box with another VHS tape inside. Great segment to start the show. It focused on the ladder match, teased a potential rivalry in Jey Uso and Chad Gable, and gave us the latest from the Wyatt Six. Big thumbs up here. Gable reminded fans that Uso, quote-unquote, took the Fireflies and abandoned his family, two things that should have made him the target of the Wyatts. And then Uso said, I told them they could have the Fireflies. I'll take the mosquitoes or the cockroaches. I'm not trying to end up like your ass. And Jey Uso remains incredibly over with fans, as evidenced by the deafening pop for main event Jey, and of course the Yeet dance, of course. And Michael Cole actually did the Yeet dance tonight. Now that was a sight to see, to be honest with you. But don't worry, Pat McAfee will be back leading the Yeet dance next Monday night in Ottawa, because Jey Uso, as we found out later in the night, Jey Uso and Chad Gable will go one-on-one next Monday night on Raw in Ottawa, as we sort out the Raw fallout from Money in the Bank and kick off Raw's road to the biggest party of the summer in the SummerSlam. So, great way to start it all off. So, MF, wow. Another energetic entrance from Jey Uso. You can make an argument he might have the best entrance in the game right now. With the outstanding camera work, and of course the Yeet dance. Oh, don't you worry. But when Raw comes here in a couple months or so, you best believe we're gonna be doing it. You know we
Oh
will.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So MF, I mean, Uso, Gable, the Wyatt show up again. Big thumbs up to start the show tonight in Beantown.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Great way to start Monday Night Raw. Great way to start it at TD Garden in Boston, and it was exactly what it needed it to be. Solid opening to the show, and I loved it. I loved everything that was going on. I loved everything that was played out in the situation, and it was cool. So yeah, it was exactly what it needed it to be. Uh, First off, just for the delight of the fans, just to see the Yeetmeister himself, Jey Uso, in the crowd. God, I wish he comes down our way. When he comes to Providence, man, because we would be rocking if he's down there. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be awesome. He's the most over guy, like he said. And then I love how Chad Gable tried to manipulate this whole situation, but like he said, I don't want the Fireflies, man. I told him to have it back. That's your, because he doesn't want to deal with the Wyatt Six. He knows what they are dangerous. They know what they're dangerous about. But remember, what is their message? Their message is, brokenness. You know, families being broken apart or different things. Being bullies and whatnot. I hate to say this, Chad, but you encompass everything that the Y6 do not like. You betrayed your Alpha Academy. You were definitely a bully. You kind of broke your own family in that instant. Now, yes, Jay did as well. He did betray the bloodline, the whole 9 yards, but it doesn't look like the Wyatt Six is after him. Interesting. Maybe and Chad made up a very good point that he probably would have been in the line of fire if he would have admitted it that he stole the Fireflies, stole the whole 9 yards. But you remember that interview off air with Jackie Redmond, and he said, "Yo, you know the back." He's like, and she even threw it. She's like, "You might have triggered this because of you, you with the Fireflies and everything." He's like, "Oh no, 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 no." He's like, "You can have that back." Yeah, after I just saw here tonight. Nope, you got to go. I'm leaving, sweetheart, baby girl. You might want to get out of here too. That little witch, that crazy girl out there, man. She might come for you. You never know. So she set the message loud and clear what was going on. So yeah, great way to start Monday Night Raw. I got really nothing more else to say. So Michael Bullock, it's yours, bro.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, this is yeah, Chad Gable, like you said, he was trying to manipulate the whole thing, saying they should be going after you and not me. But like you said, Fletch, the thing is, because we saw in that backstage interview, Jey Uso, he said, "Hey, you can have the Fireflies back. I don't want anything to do because he knows what this group is capable of." But like you said, with the messaging that the Wyatt Six has done, they basically are going after people that broken or bullied. And unfortunately, Shad Gable, I hate to say this, you're the one who fits all that because you broke and you bullied your own Alpha Academy. I mean, everything you did with Maxine Dupree, with Akira Tozawa, and especially Otis. So don't try to make it look like that you have nothing to do with any of this. You basically started all this when you decided to do what you did to the Alpha Academy, and because of that messaging, that's why the Wyatt Six are coming after you. So So there's really nothing more to say. Definitely a thumbs up on this segment. So it's yours, Florio.
All right, let's get into our first action of the night. As I just all right. It was Xavier Woods of the New Day squaring off against Karrion Kross of the Final Testament. Hello, what's this? Xavier Woods wins the match in 7.5 minutes. But then after the match was over, Final Testament, they got him. They took out both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Ugh. So MF, Xavier Woods, with an upset victory, winning in 7.5 minutes. Yes, Xavier, you won the match. You won the battle. But unfortunately, the Final Testament, they ended up winning the war, as the old saying goes. So, So 7.5 minutes is the time of the fall. Xavier Woods scores it. So MF, man, like I said, Xavier may have won the battle, but the Final Testament won the war on this night.
Yeah, no, they hurt Kofi in the process. And how bad did Kofi get injured? I don't know. Xavier got a big win. That was a monumental win for him because that actually, paved the way for him to get you could say a measure of revenge, and it's a good victory for him. But then you saw what happened next, and that's where the problem lies. So, at the end of the day, it is a nice win for Xavier, and that's a monumental win for him. One of the biggest wins he's had up to this point. You can evenly say that probably an even bigger win for her because of what happened. But we'll see how this plays out, and it was all right. So about 2.5, close to 3. I'd say more 2.5, 2 3/4. Nice win for Xavier Woods, but like you said, he might have lost the war because his buddy, his running mate, just got hurt. So how bad did he get injured? We'll find out. Anthony, Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
Yeah, 2.5 stars for me. I mean, yeah, like you said, Xavier Woods may have won this match, but the Final Testament, they won the war because they got a measure of retribution and basically destroyed Kofi Kingston. And I think the last thing, guys, you want to do is mess with this this group, the Final Testament. I mean, especially, I know Anthony Florio wouldn't want to get on the bad side of his girl Scarlett, and basically the rest of them. So, yeah, and unfortunately for Xavier and Kofi, they found out the hard way. So 2.5 for me. It's yours, Florio.
Yeah, 2.5 as well. Match was solid enough, and the post-match attack was executed well enough. But this still feels like a program struggling to capture the attention of the fans. Karrion Kross and company are not connecting, and part of that may have to do with the fact that the group is still largely undefined. Who are they? Why are they a thing? And what is their end game? Those are questions that need to be addressed sooner rather than later if there is any chance of salvaging a faction that probably should be further along than it is. The commentary team openly questioning Woods' accomplishments as a single star, then suggesting he was only successful as a tag team competitor, does not say much about the King of the Ring tournament the company just held to determine a number one contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. So 2.5 stars for that. Then we had backstage, the issues between the Judgment Day continued as Damian Priest caught Dominic Mysterio lying about talking to Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan inside the lair and then exiting, and Finn Balor took exception to Damian Priest's comments a week ago. The best part of this story right now, it all makes sense based on what we have seen to this point. And trust us, there's plenty more where that came from, including our next matchup. A young lady who was just at Fenway Park yesterday, throwing out the first pitch for the Red Sox, that being the women's world champion, Liv Morgan. And this was the big match. I mean, we thought maybe Money in the Bank, but no, we got it here tonight. Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Zelina Vega, and the winner of the match in 11.5 minutes, and still the women's world champion, it is Liv Morgan. And Michael Bullock, no big surprise. Dominic Mysterio ended up being the deciding factor.
Again, I will say this, guys. Something stinks about this, and I just don't like it. I mean, why does Dominic still continue to come out here and I'll say quote unquote attempt to stop Liv Morgan from retaining the title? But yeah, I don't know, guys. And I've said this for so many weeks since this whole thing happened. I just got a bad feeling about this. I think we all know what the end game is. It's eventually going to lead to Liv Morgan becoming to me, the new leader of the Judgment Day. And not only Mommy is going to get the boot, but Damian Priest is going to get the boot too. So that's where I think it's going to all lead to. So as far as this match goes, I'll give this an even 3. A lot of overbooking here when it comes to this. So, yeah, there's still a lot to be answered when it comes to this. So, Florio, it's yours. I hate to say this, but
stars. Yes.
Liv Morgan, I mean, and I would say she's channeling her Roddy Piper, saying, just when all you people, including the 3 of us, have the answers, I change the questions.
That's exactly right. Great
it's
analogy.
Yours, Florio.
Great analogy, no doubt about it. The creative played on Liv Morgan's victory over Becky Lynch, in which she also benefited from a
Florio,
steal.
are you there?
Oops. Am I here? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah, no, you're good. I hear you.
Bullock thought I was gone.
Yeah. I heard you loud and clear. I don't know. I heard you. I don't know if Bullock heard you.
Something more on my end.
Yeah, I think Bullock couldn't hear you, Anthony, because I could hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, and everything's good on my end.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The creative played on Morgan's victory over Becky Lynch, in which she also benefited from a steel chair mishap courtesy of Dom. It was a clever way to book more of the same without settling into repetitiveness. It also highlighted Zelina Vega as a legitimate contender for championship gold, whose screen time is nowhere near adequate for someone with the talent she has. Thirdly, it put more heat on Rey versus Dom for later in the night, a legitimate main event rematch of their WrestleMania 39 bout with ongoing storyline implications. Another strong match as Raw continues to hit on all cylinders. It is going to be very difficult to sustain Liv Morgan as a heel as things currently stand. She is already being greeted with big star reactions. Morgan stole Rhea Ripley's Prism Lock, continuing her quest to take everything from the Eradicator. So, I don't know what else there is for me to say on this. So, a solid 3.25 stars is my rating for it. So, MF, it's well documented. Yes, we know you're a SmackDown guy, but your current favorite story on Raw right now, and we wrote yet another chapter in your favorite story here tonight.
I mean, it is. This is the one that's gripped me more than any other storyline on Monday Night Raw, believe it or not. I don't know why, it just does. And they're booking it amazingly. As far as the stink and all that stuff goes about what Michael Bullock is alluding to, the key in all of this is actually not Dominic. It's Finn Balor. Balor and Liv might be looking to boot out Rhea and Damian, and they might end up taking over Judgment Day. That's my theory on this. I think Dom is Dom is actually the poor pawn in this whole game. And that Rhea is getting more angrier and angrier because of the fact of what Liv is doing. Even though any other guy in this world would have already folded to the charm and I'll say the charm of Liv Morgan. I could say something else. It's a PG show. I'll leave it there. But Dom hasn't fallen as hard. You know, we all thought he would have fell after that kiss about a month ago. But he's been loyal. He's like, I want to do everything in my power for you to lose this belt. But the thing that really irked me about tonight was the fact that Damian got called out by Finn Balor, about everything that's been going on. And you know what? I got to admit, Balor made some valid points. Damian Priest did say that they need me more than I need them. You know what? If Florio would have said that about us, if Bullock would have said that about us, yeah, you're damn right. I'd be a little pissed off for myself, thinking, wait a minute, you think that way about us? Okay. So Balor was very valid in his argument. He was very valid about what he said about Damian Priest. Now I know I'm probably going to get an earful from the Damian Priest fans, from the fans representing El Copion. I know I'm going to get it. But the thing is that, look, Priest is also right. I need to show the world that I am a legitimate world heavyweight champion. Again, he didn't take the high road. He didn't take, the fact or the matter or this or that. All right, so we'll see how this plays out. I'm enjoying the storyline as it is. It's just getting better and better by the day. So nothing more to say. The match itself, I got to say, was at least 3 stars. This was an excellent match. Dom, we'll see how it plays out later in the night, because remember, we do got a bigger fight between Ray and Dom. How's that going to look? We'll find out later on tonight. Anthony, back to you.
Let's just say another chapter in that story got written. And when I tell you about this, oh boy, MF's going to have a lot of fun. Let's get into this. Coming up, we had, I believe this was the segment here. Yes, sir. Here we go. Coming down to the ring for a promo, Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. And then you noticed a little bit of some confetti were falling here. And Michael Bullock, I know, is going to love this. Seth Rollins showed a lot of love for Boston, and he said, "Hey, with this leftover confetti, and then he brought up, of course, he said Boston's a championship city, including the 2024 NBA champion Boston Celtics."
Major props to you, Seth Rollins. You got more respect from me for right now.
And then a ghost from Rollins' past showed up, Finn Balor. And then eventually Damian Priest showed up. Of course, we all know Saturday night at Money in the Bank, high stakes World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Priest retains the title. Seth Rollins can no longer challenge for the title as long as Priest holds the title. If Rollins regains the title, Damian Priest is out of Judgment Day. Damian Priest has to leave Judgment Day. Well, let me say it like this. Things turned physical. The heels laid out Rollins, and despite clear dissension within the ranks, made their way to the back to close out the segment. There is a real power struggle between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, one that could very well end with Balor betraying his friend and former tag team partner, leading to a brand new incarnation of the Judgment Day. That is difficult to foresee, Damian Priest leaving the group right now, and Rollins never challenging for the world title again, means the outcome Saturday night is anything but obvious, and that is a very exciting thing for all of us in the WWE universe. Balor is starting to stand up, speak out, and have a mind for his own again. Interesting. And don't forget how many times he has coincidentally been linked to Liv Morgan at this point. Is he plotting a coup to take over the Judgment Day? And Damian Priest reiterated that the world title match with Rollins is his business and no one is going to get in his business, even his friends. Look for that to play a role in the outcome at Money in the Bank. So another very good segment here. So MF, the latest chapter in the Judgment Day saga. Balor and Priest.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to add there. This was just pretty good, pretty sizable. But at the end of the day, it's all about Damian Priest wanting to prove that he is worthy of being the heavyweight champion of the world. And yeah, Seth Rollins playing the crowd. Obviously, got to give the shout out to the NBA World Champs. The 18-time world champs, Boston Celtics. So obviously he definitely won the crowd on that. It's funny too because he's a Chicagoan. So you would think, for him to prop up the Celtics, man, I'm pretty sure I think he's a Chicago Bulls fan, Seth Rollins. So that's kind of a little bit of an interesting take. But like me and Florio, we're both Chicago Bulls fans, but we also gave props to the Celtics for winning the chips. So I don't think there's not much craziness about that. But at the end of the day, hey, it's good. So I just love the body of work. I just love the body of work of everybody involved. I think they did it really good. But yeah, Balor might be the wild card because remember, he's you never know what's gonna happen here. Money in the Bank situation. Does he blow up? Because remember, if Damian loses, he's out of Judgment Day. Does Balor make a fatal mistake that causes Damian his spot? Who knows? So we'll see if we get an excommunicata at Money in the Bank on Saturday night. But we'll go from there in just a little bit. So Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, and the thing is, because remember what you guys mentioned about Finn Balor wasn't happy about, what the comments that Damian Priest made last week when he said that the Judgment Day needs El Campeon more than El Campeon needs them. And that's going to rub Finn Balor the wrong way. And this is going to be interesting, especially with the stakes in this, because, like you said, Damian Priest retains. Seth Rollins no longer challenges for the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian Priest is the champion. But the thing is, Damian Priest loses, he's out of Judgment Day. I could see something like this, and I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it. This is just what I'm thinking. I still think Damian Priest goes over, but what if Finn Balor attacks Damian Priest after the match? There's still ways they can do it.
And what if this match takes place after the men's Money in the Bank ladder match?
Cash in. Who's got the case? Now wait. Who's got the case?
As long as it's a Raw guy, which it could be.
That's going to be that's going to be the $1 million question as we get closer to Money in the Bank, because if they put this after the men's Money in the Bank, who knows what could possibly happen. But that was just one thing that literally came to my mind. But we'll find out come Saturday night. So good segment. It's yours, Florio.
Indeed. So we've had a lot of segments here, and right, and now we can get back into action here. Speaking of Money in the Bank, we talk about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match qualifier, the final one. Zoe Stark versus Dakota Kai versus Ivy Nile. Winner of the match in 8 minutes and 45 seconds. And the final woman to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Zoe Stark. So we have our field, gentlemen. Representing Raw, it'll be Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, and Zoe Stark. Representing SmackDown, you got Naomi, you got Tiffany Stratton, and you got Chelsea Green. There's your field. MF, Zoe Stark rounds it out. She wins it in 8:45.
I'm a little surprised that it's Zoe, to be real honest. I didn't think in the grand scheme of things, I didn't think it was going to be her. But, good for her. Congratulations. I could say about a couple stars, maybe 2.5 stars, to say the very least. So, yeah, this was a big win for her, and she's now one step closer to Money in the Bank. She now gets that opportunity. So, I don't think there's really any more things to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
I'll give this about maybe 2.5 stars. I mean, yeah, it was a little surprising that Zoe Stark won, but you guys are forgetting something. There was also a big factor into it, and that was a
The
little bit
women's
of
tag team champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
Yeah,
they played a role in the outcome of this match. Big outcome.
Because they attacked Kairi Sane during the match, and you wonder if this is where we get a little feud with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn and Damage Control. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So, yep, they're like you said, and the field is all set. So we'll see what happens. So 2.5 for me. It's yours, Florio.
2.5, 2 3/4. The action was solid and highlighted Dakota Kai, who saw her dreams of advancing to the ladder match dashed as women's tag team champions. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire attacked Kairi Sane at ringside, providing a distraction that allowed Zoe Stark to capitalize and score the win. Stark winning almost guarantees a feat of athleticism Saturday night, which is always welcome. But it would be really nice to see the creative team do more with the talented competitor, who has not reached the level one would have expected when she partnered with Trish Stratus a year and change ago. And that's really all there is to say about it. So, and then we had the latest videotape featuring Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas. The world was treated to the reveal that the latter was talking to himself the entire time. The video would become grainy at times, warped at others, as it was revealed that Dallas and Howdy are one and the same. We already knew that, but the manner in which it was executed was compelling, sucking the viewer in, as any doubts about Dallas's ability to carry this act in the wake of his brother's passing should be erased at this point. Of interest was Bo Dallas mentioning, quote-unquote, false prophets belittling their family. While he likely meant Chad Gable and Alpha Academy, that could also suggest Dominic Mysterio will eventually grab their attention, and on a grander scale, perhaps even Solo Sikoa and the reinvigorated Bloodline. This is character with depth and backstory, the likes of which we have seen a few times. Its continued unveiling makes for must-see television. So that latest VHS tape reveal, very well done. Gentlemen, this is optional, but if you want to address it, feel free.
Oh, I need to jump in on this.
Oh, yes.
This is the most creative thing we've seen in a very long time. And I am very, very, very happy that finally Bo Dallas is getting the moment and that they're giving him the ball and he's running with it. Obviously, we know how much Bray meant to all of us in the world of professional wrestling. We know what he meant to every single one of us and what it meant in hindsight. The way that this thing has gone is so remarkable and amazing. Is is a complete understatement. What they've done is they've given us a lot of heighten, a lot of credence, and brought an element of amaze that not many things has done. Now, yes, you get the creepy side, you get the weirdness, you get the whatever you want to talk about. But if you notice the way that he's talking or what he's alluding to, and that it's like the message is now more clearer. The message that he's sending is more, now you know why he's going after the people he's going after. It makes sense. And at the end of the day, I can't be any more happier with the way that this has been played out. So, this was, to me, one of the highlights of the night. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, if you want to touch it, go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, the way they're doing this is just so awesome. The way it's being done perfectly well. And if I know Bray Wyatt right now, he must be smiling up in the heavens right now. I mean, with the way they're doing this. And like you said, they're literally going after those that have literally been doing a lot of not so good things. So they're really doing it, and I can't wait to see a lot more of this and where they go from here. But we've been waiting for this Wyatt Six group to really come together, and you're really starting to see it play out. And I'm also happy for Bo Dallas finally getting the spotlight on him. So, like I said, Bray Wyatt would be smiling right now with the way everything is coming together. So, it's yours, Florio.
There's nothing left for me to say except on behalf of all of us here. When it comes to all of this, we're all here for it.
Mm-hmm.
We are all
Agreed.
here for it. So, more, please. That's all I can say.
Give us more.
Feed us more. Wink, wink. So, yeah.
Nice play on words. I know where you were going with that.
Old school.
Yep.
Talking about the early days of our show, yesteryear.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, let's continue on. Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, same outcome as WrestleMania 39. Rey Mysterio defeats Dominic, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Liv Morgan getting involved, and the match, much like Liv Morgan's earlier in the show, played on a memorable spot between the champion and Daddy Dom. This one saw Dominic land on top of Liv Morgan as she had him a few weeks back.
Whoa. That is not PG. I'll say that right now.
And you noticed he tried to pull away, and she did a maneuver that basically Dom got, like, there was no way out. Like, he was stuck. He could not get off her.
And she was smiling and laughing while she was doing that.
Because she was drinking. She's like, I knew you would finally come around and see it my way. Because I think what she did, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but I think she hooked her legs underneath his legs. That's why Dom couldn't get out of that position.
I think she wanted to make sure.
Great commentary moment here.
Oh yes.
MF does the woo. Yeah, MF just goes on a major Gurr fest, and he does the MF. You remember that Keenan and Kel episode that we had fun with many years ago?
Oh my gosh.
You know that. You know the one I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The legendary woo woo woo.
Mm-hmm.
And the
yep.
I told you.
Yep.
And MF was on a Gurr fest. He does the woo. And then
I
me and Bullock
told
were
you
mortified.
he was feeling that, baby girl.
And me
And
and
she-
Bullock were mortified.
And she hooked those legs to make sure that Dominic wasn't going to escape.
And
Nope.
Bullock was and me and Bullock were just sitting there all mortified like Michael Cole. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys this right now, and I've said this many times. Liv Morgan is literally, and I mean literally, playing with fire. Because
But-
I'm telling you this right now, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Rhea gets back. She is gonna want Liv's blood on her hands, and
Oh yeah.
it is gonna be, as we always like to say, it's gonna be bowling shoe ugly.
And the other thing
Ridiculous.
is that, and remember earlier in the night, remember what Damian Priest said? He talked to Rhea. She
Yeah.
is pissed. So you already know this is gonna blow the stack on Rhea Ripley. Like this here is gonna take things to a whole new level. So absolutely.
We've got two massive babyface returns. Roman Reigns and Rhea Ripley.
Absolutely, yes.
Can you imagine
Oh yeah.
what's going to happen when they both come back to their respective shows, whenever it happens?
Oh,
To
it's
say-
gonna be wild.
And to say that Rhea Ripley's gonna want to annihilate her is gonna be, it's a major understatement.
Yeah.
Major
So-
understatement. She is gonna want to rip her limb from limb until there's blood all over Rhea's body.
The one thing is that to get back to the match is if you're Dom, you just lost again to Rey Mysterio. Like this, okay, you lost at WrestleMania. That's one thing. But tonight, of all nights, this was a holy backfire Batman type moment. Liv was out there to help Dom beat Ray, but you had Selena, who still was a little angry over earlier in the evening about what happened in her match, and I'm surprised that Jacquetta did not come out at that moment, but she got her revenge, and Dom lost. That's the bigger thing. Is that Liv was out there. Think about this. Dom was out there despite trying to help Liv. And you could tell I don't think he legitimately wanted to help Liv win that match earlier in the night. Because he is adamant about trying to take the belt away from Liv Morgan. But here's the thing. She tries to return the favor. He lost. I think that at some point there has to be a moment where, and Dominic is legitimately saying, I want nothing to do with you. I don't want nothing to do with you in this instant because of what's going on.
But the problem is, Fletch, he can say it all he wants, but do you really think Liv Morgan's gonna listen to any of that?
No. Here's the problem. He's in too deep. I don't care what anybody says. He's too far, too deep into that situation. There's no other way that Dom, I hate to say this, it's either Dom, you're going to have to make a choice. And the choice is either you stay loyal to Rhea, or you fall in line with Liv, because it looks like she's about to make a power play here and be the new, like the new, I guess, eradicator for this team. So I don't know. There's a lot going on here, but this was a fine match. This was about another 3.5 star bout. Great battle. They picked up right where they left off from WrestleMania. It felt refreshing. It was a good matchup. But the Liv Morgan factor the fact that she got involved in the match, okay, fine. But what we saw in this matchup, yeah, I mean, commentary haha aside, it was a very good matchup. It was a very good, the action was good. Dom and Ray, they work really good. They gotten better together, working together. And you can tell that, you can see that it was working together. Obviously, the highlight was Ray drop kicking Dom right into Liv, and then our whole shabeel started, where yes, I went into crazy. I was gurring and crazy, and yeah, doing all that Floyd was talking about. Obviously, commentator, in broadcasting style, and I don't know, man. It's just there's something about this that's just gonna make things very interesting. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it is yours. It's a 3 to 3.5 star match for me. But again, it's weird. Dom was out there. Liv won earlier tonight. Liv came out, and it was a holy backfire Batman.
Yeah, it was a holy fire Batman. 3.25 for me on this one, but it was another good match. But again, this is all about Liv and Dominic. Oh, did we just lose Florio there?
We just did. Yeah, he'll come back.
Yeah, but man, this is, man. I just, again, Liv continue, and remember what she said earlier in the night. The Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is starting to come together, and it's basically what Liv Morgan wants, Liv Morgan gets, and I'll say, and let's just say, to use the term, especially when she threw out the first pitch yesterday, so far this hasn't been a swing and a miss for her. No way. So, man, 3.25, and all I can say is, Florio, the plot continues to thicken with all this.
And again, I say we are all here for it, especially MF. So,
oh yeah, especially MF. You know he's really enjoying this whole thing.
Yep, he did the grr, and he did the I told you, I told you, I told you. And then in a very funny moment, I dropped the gorilla nuke on him, and I said, "Will you be serious?" or something like that. And he's like, "Hey, that's my line." Yeah. So but anyways, 3.25 here. Like I said, the match, much like Liv's earlier in the show, played on a memorable spot between the champion and her daddy Dom. This one saw Dom land on top of Liv as she had him a few weeks back. From there, Vega took the fight to Liv and back inside. Ray delivered the West Coast pop for the win, leaving Morgan to implore Dominic not to be mad at her. She said, "I'll make it better," she said to the fuming second-generation star. This worked. So much so that it feels as though maybe a mixed tag match for Money in the Bank should not be out of the question. If it waits until next week's show or another time thereafter, so be it. But it feels like a perfect time to go that route based on what we've seen tonight. Even compared to last year's WrestleMania, Dominic has grown and evolved as a performer so much. His character work in particular has been superb. The idea that Ray is out there having these matches every week against guys who are quite literally his son and those young enough to be is a testament to his excellence. He is in the GOAT conversation, right alongside guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Bryan Danielson, Terry Funk, and his late friend Eddie Guerrero. 3 to 3.25 stars. So, and then we had yet another in-ring segment. The Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Sami Zayn, interrupted by Braun Breaker. We had some physicality, but at the end of the day, it was Braun Breaker who ultimately stood tall. This was short, sweet, and highlighted the threat Sami Zayn faces Saturday night in Toronto. Braun Breaker is an unstoppable force, has made fools of anyone who dares step to him. It will absolutely do the same to Sami Zayn if necessary. The speed with which Breaker hit those steel steps was astonishing. There is no way it did not hurt like hell. Thankfully, he has shoulder muscles on top of shoulder muscles, so he absorbed it in a way others would not have. So there's not much more to say on that. And then, here we go, boys. Let's do a quick setup for next week's show. We ran down the table for next Monday night in Ottawa, as it was Jey Uso versus Chad Gable, and a 6-woman tag team match. All 3 members of Damage Control, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai, versus Lyra Valkyria, Katana Chance, and Kaden Carter. Main event, the final men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Triple threat, be a man fight. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Ilya Dragunov. Are you kidding me? What? Winner of the match, 12 minutes and 25 seconds, and claiming the final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. To none of our surprise, it was Drew McIntyre. So I believe it's Michael Bullock who starts off on this. So Bullock, Drew McIntyre gets the last spot. We got Drew McIntyre. We got Jey Uso. We got LA Knight. We got Carmelo Hayes. We got Andrade. And boy, oh boy, we got a very exciting men's Money in the Bank ladder match coming up Saturday night in Toronto, and Drew McIntyre winning. And don't be surprised if CM Punk gets involved in that match on Saturday night.
Oh, with Drew McIntyre winning this, I think it's all but certain he's getting involved in that match Saturday. Because, I mean, you guys think for 1 minute he's going to forget about what Drew McIntyre did to him on SmackDown? No. There's only one way CM Punk gets back at him, and that is costing him the Money in the Bank. So, yeah, but all in all, I'm going to say this was 3.5 to 3 3/4 fight of the night. I mean, it was everything what it was, and the outcome was never in doubt. But now, because of who won it, there's no doubt about it. CM Punk's going to cost Drew McIntyre Money in the Bank. So, it's yours, Florio.
And that'll set up the SummerSlam match for sure. From the moment.
And of course, as I said it before, and as we've said it, if you're going to do CM Punk and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, this can't be a typical one. Exactly. A typical one-on-one match. It has to be non-sanctioned. Period.
From the moment it was announced that Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Ilya Dragunov would battle for the right to fill the final spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match Saturday night in Toronto, it was clear we were in store for a physical war of attrition between 3 of the hardest-hitting men in the company. They did not disappoint. The 3 competitors beat the hell out of each other, testing both their will to win and desire to advance to a potentially career-altering opportunity. The match progressed nicely until Drew McIntyre deposited Ilya Dragunov on the floor, then teed off with Sheamus in the ring. Stunned by a jumping knee, he still managed to shake it off and flatten the Celtic Warrior with a Claymore for the pinfall victory. He now heads to Money in the Bank, where he vows to win the titular match and leave as World Heavyweight Champion. Whether he does, and if CM Punk makes his presence felt, yes, it technically it remains to be seen, but at the same time, we all know it's happening. Dragunov continues to have these opportunities to share the ring with top-tier stars such as Jey Uso, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. It says a ton about management's views on the Mad Dragon and where they see him going one day. He was well protected here, even in defeat. 3.5 to 3.75 of a star. Fight of the night, no doubt about it. We all knew it would be. And this was a good old MF Michael Fletcher special. And MF, Sheamus, McIntyre, Dragunov in a Money in the Bank qualifier on free television. Are you kidding me? That is freaking awesome. 12:25. McIntyre wins the match. And MF, as I bring you in, are we surprised that this ended up being not only the fight of the night, but also one hell of a be a man fight?
No, this was one of those type of matches that we knew it was going to be. It was a great matchup, great battle, thrilling to the end. It was exactly what it was. We all thought it was going to be at the end of the day, and they did an incredible job with it. Great matchup, and 3.5 to 3.75 fight of the night. Florio, back to you.
All right. So with that being said, it is now time for our overall review. This was another strong episode of Raw featuring the continuation to top stories, high-stakes triple threat matches, a banger of a main event, and the captivating latest from the Wyatt Six. With a pay-per-view up next this Saturday in Toronto, Triple H never sacrificed what he has going on across the brand in the name of hyping the show. He stayed the course, told his stories, and the result was another quality broadcast. How this weekend's big event affects the brand moving forward remains to be seen, but Raw, often criticized for its lengthy runtime, is low-key developing back into a strong entry into the company's television portfolio after years of being a bloated, overly long show that fans tuned out of late. And a lot of that was because of the guy that was in charge before him.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, Raw is appointment television and must-see television each and every week. So much so that we've already got tickets for August 26th when it comes here. Because, and you know why? What Triple H and that creative team has done since they took over, since they were officially given the keys to the car, has been nothing short of extraordinary. Records after records after records after records, attendance records, social media view records, sellout after sellout after sellout. Not just TV. Hell, house shows are selling out now.
Yeah. And
House shows.
And that's the thing. That's when you know your product is hitting on all cylinders. Because when you got live events selling out, you know you're doing things right now. And on top of that, you know why they're selling out? Look who they're putting on the cards. Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Seth freaking Rollins. Liv Morgan's been out there. They've been putting very good matches, and they're letting their champions defend the titles. Ever since Cody Rhodes has been the World Heavyweight Champion, I've counted and I've kept count of the title reigns of the amounts since he became champion at WrestleMania. He, including house shows, he has now defended the title 28 times as the World Heavyweight as the WWE Champion.
Nice.
He's already 3 titles of defenses away from the number that Roman Reigns defended the title as the world champion when he had that 1,000.
Wow.
That
1,316 days.
Yes, because Roman Reigns defended the title about 31 times on TV. Total amount was 48 times on house shows as well. And right now, Cody is on pace of breaking that record. Like, he's well on that pace.
Good. And you know, me being the Cody guy I am, as well as Bullock, I mean that definitely makes us very happy. So, but anyways, long story short, I gotta give this in excess of I'm leaning right around the I'm leaning around that 8 threshold. So I say 8 out of 10 for me. So MF, I mean, Friday night we had SmackDown in New York, Madison Square Garden, and tonight another of the original WWE mainstays, Boston.
Yeah. No, they did a really good job with it. So far, I would say that he's done very well with it, and I'll openly admit, yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'll go 8. I'll go 8 out of 10. I think you're right, Anthony. So I think there's really nothing more to say. And Michael Bullock, it's yours.
8 for me as well. I mean, Triple H and the creative team are hitting on all cylinders, not with just the matches, but the storytelling in general. And this is why WWE is in a much better place since Triple H and the creative team took over. I mean, we've had better shows, we've had better matches, better storytelling, and like you said, even the house shows are selling out. If that doesn't tell you that WWE is in a much better place now, I don't know what the hell will. And this is why we said it. I don't know if you guys agree with this. WWE is on the rise, and AEW is on the decline. Am I correct?
Even though they had a good Forbidden Door pay-per-view last night, which we'll talk about on Wednesday.
I kind of feel like right now the only thing that AEW is in trouble with right now is their attendance and their viewership as far as like Dynamite and everything else. But the product itself is actually not bad. It's just
the product is still there. It's just
no, the product is strong. And the shows are good. I mean, there's good quality shows.
Even though there's always still that questionable booking.
Yeah, obviously, granted, agreed. But we cannot disagree. I think the only thing we can disagree about is that as far as the attendance goes and viewership goes, WWE is beating AEW. They are beating AEW right now. Like, I don't think there's no argument about it. But as far as quality of the shows, I mean, there's some nights where AEW's been better than WWE. There's been nights where WWE's been better than AEW. So as far as that goes, quality of the shows or whatnot, I kind of feel like it's neck and neck right now. But if you're going by attendance numbers and by the viewership, WWE is hands down beating AEW. There isn't that much of a threat right now. Monday Night Raw is really kicking it into high gear. SmackDown, despite the stupidity of Fox Network with their cutouts and their black screening and editing out the fans' reactions, that's the only gripe I got with SmackDown right now, is that Fox is messing with my show with when they try to push the envelope. But that's the only time I kind of get under where I get a little peeved with Fox. But
so basically what you're saying is because of the lack of viewership and attendance in AEW, you got to give the slight edge to WWE right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's pretty much all I got to say. So 8 for me. So let's get into your Tony's take.
Impact Wrestling starts it off, and so let's get into that. And all right, bear with me for a moment here. Got to find it. So as we continue on the road to Slammiversary, obviously, just bear with me for a minute here. I'm having a little trouble with it. All right. So let's get into this. Impact Wrestling from the Cicero Stadium started with Masha Slamovich versus Zaya Brookside. Masha Slamovich wins the match in 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Then we had ABC versus the Rascals versus Cody Deaner and Jake Something. ABC wins the match in 5 minutes and 28 seconds. The next Road to Slammiversary qualifying match, a battle between two former TNA World Champions, Sami Callihan versus Steve Maclin. Steve Maclin winning the match in 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Alan Angels versus Kushida. Kushida wins that match in 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Then we had our main event, the other qualifier match, Nick Nemeth versus Rich Swann. Nick Nemeth wins the match 15 minutes and 2 seconds. 8 out of 10. You can see most of Slammiversary coming from here, and this show was designed to get us towards a lot of the expected card. It may not make for the most thrilling show, but it makes for a quality one, which is what needed to happen. Good show, with hands down the main event being the fight of the night, no doubt about that. Coming up this Thursday night on Impact Wrestling, the final two qualifying matches. But first, we got to address the other matches here. Jody Threat versus Danny Luna in a match made by their manager, Lars Fredrickson. This is you could consider this like a tough love type exercise here. Jody Threat versus Danny Luna will be squaring off against each other. Mixed tag team match. Eddie and Alicia Edwards are going to team up against Broken Matt Hardy and Queen Rebecca. Oh, that's going to be wonderful and delightful. Seeing Rebby back in the ring for I can't remember. I honestly don't know the last time Rebby was even in a match. It's been so long.
Dude, I think it's been like maybe 5 years. Probably a little less, but I think it's been 5 years since we've seen Queen Rebecca in the ring. I think the last time we've seen her was, I think, before she gave birth to her second child. Because I think I remember her wrestling once after she had King Maxwell. So I think it was right before. I think it was a couple of years before she had Lord Wolfgang or Lord Wolf, as they say, which is the second child. Remember, they got 3 now.
Yeah. So it's going to be Matt Hardy and Queen Rebecca, Broken Matt and Queen Rebecca against Eddie and Alicia Edwards. So, and our final 2 qualifying matches for that 6-way TNA World Heavyweight Championship elimination match. Mike Santana squares off against Frankie Kazarian. And in the other, Jake Something squares off against perhaps the most over guy in wrestling right now. Say his name and he appears. We believe in Joe Hendry. Hoo. That's right. Jake Something versus Joe Hendry. I think we all know how that's playing out.
Yeah.
So that all goes down Thursday night on Impact Wrestling. So there you go. So with that being said, let's quickly get into Level Up here from Friday night. Riley Osborne versus Jasper Troy, and Riley Osborne wins the match in 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Solid as you would expect with Osborne in the ring, and an easy story as it was David versus Goliath. Osborne made Troy's offense look great before getting the win and popping the crowd with the SSP. That was a 2.25 star match. Jasmine Nix with JC Jane in her corner squaring off against Kendall Gray. Jasmine Nix wins the match in 4:42. Solid as they made the most of their time. Gray had a feel-good moment with her first win, but back to reality as Jasmine Nix is higher on the food chain at the moment, 1.5 stars. Dante Chen versus Miles Bourne. Dante Chen in 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Kind of a surprise there with Chen winning. Good match, though, which makes sense as they are 2 of the veterans on this show. So, and it was better than their previous encounter. So 2.5 stars. Surprisingly good show. 7 out of 10. I thought it was an enjoyable show. The crowd was into all 3 matches, and there was hard work from everybody. And good show. So 7 out of 10. So, but that'll put the ball on this latest edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We got a busy week of content ahead for you all, friends. So get ready to jot this all down. Tomorrow night, 10:30, right back here on the Tone 25, an annual TXN Sports World tradition, as it will be our 2024 NBA Draft Recap Edition of TXN Sports World, just like we do with the NFL Draft, team by team, grades, you know, the whole shebang. So that all goes down on tomorrow night. Wednesday night, 10:30, MF will have it, Braves Fan 95. We got a loaded edition of Wednesday Night Madness. We will review the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. We will review NXT. And we will review AEW Dynamite. That all goes down on Wednesday. We are taking Thursday off in observance of the 4th of July holiday. But then we'll be right back at it Friday night over on MF's channel, Braves Fan 95. Cerebral Smack Talk. Friday night SmackDown. Their go-home show in Toronto. And then we will preview the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And then Saturday night, probably around 10:30 or so, because the event starts at 7. Talking Wrestling TXN, MF will have that. That'll be, as we will have on this one, it'll be our review of Money in the Bank. We'll preview NXT Heatwave. And the Big 3 is actually on Sunday this time around. This upcoming Sunday is the next round of Big 3 action. So maybe MF could give us his Big 3 report there. So that'll be on Saturday. And then perhaps on Sunday, we may have our review of NXT Heatwave, or we could bump that for another night. I don't know. We'll figure out what we want to do with that, but that's for now. And then next Monday night, Ridiculously Raw, Monday Night Raw, and of course the latest Tony's Take and the Raw fallout for Money in the Bank. And we start Raw's road to the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for our NBA Draft Recap Edition of TXN Sports World, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the Phenom Michael Bullock, and of course, always and forever, the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it a Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday, and until tomorrow night for the NBA Draft Recap Show, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.